Innovation has been very much about development of fish feed and shrimp feed, and the same for animal nutrition. Lately we have started to widen the scope, so it's more innovation also towards the digital feeding and understanding how you manage a farm. So that comes on top of still full speed on nutrition and health. That can vary between markets, but I use the example here from Ecuador, where when we entered in 2012, based on our fish background, not shrimp background, because that was very short, we saw that the feeding was not optimal. The oxygen level vary a lot, and the time from the shrimp eat till it has digested is very short. So we saw the need for a new way of feeding, not only feeding through the day, but feeding by the hour, and optimize the feed versus the optimum environment in the pond. And we have rolled that out, and we see significant increase in growth, and also 20–30% reduction in FCR in many cases. Well, we have set up so-called validation units. We have, among other here in Ecuador, a validation unit, which is a full-scale unit farm, where we can first show our own R&D and our own findings in small scale, that it works in full scale, but we can also train people and be there together with them when we implement this new technical way of feeding. We also use a team that spend time with the farmer for the first few weeks to really make sure that it happens correctly, to put it like that, because automatic feeding in shrimp here is there's a lot of failure. So you need to use it correctly, not only by some automates. Bigger effect from new feeding than from new feed. New feed and better feed is important, but actually to use it correct gave a bigger value for the farmers. So now we work with farmers to see who are mature to take on a change, because it's very much a new way of working. So it's a change process also for the farmer. I think we learn a lot also from the same process by having people out there and seeing the practical question. We learn a lot about the different pain points which are different than we think if you sit in an office and are a researcher, for instance. So we pick up a lot of both practical way of doing things and also challenges that we were not aware of that farmers had, which we can contribute to, because we can't solve them, but we can contribute to solve them, and being that in partnership. So yes, we are actively promoting innovation, but it doesn't mean that we have all the brains here and we come with all the ideas. No, we learn from farmers, for sure. And it goes all the way back, well, we are a commercial company, so we want to sell feed, but it goes all the way back to our mission, which is feeding the future. We need to be more productive, we need to utilize the feed raw materials in a better way, we need to utilize the water and the hectares in a better way, because we're going to feed 9 billion or 10 billion people in years. So it's very much the whole drive in Nutreco is feeding the future. I think that is very different from geographies. Ecuador has almost 50% of the ponds in the world, and they have huge opportunities in more intensification without going over the and start to have more diseases. I think they can if they take it step by step and learn. While in other markets, they have a problem with urbanization. The cities are growing. They have to just leave the sites and leave the ponds they have, which you see several places in Asia. They have issues with water quality, which are terrible in many areas, which also don't produce safe shrimp. And I think these have to move into much more intensification, whether that is recirculation or at least greenhouses and much higher densities and much higher production per square meter, because they don't have too many square meters. Ecuador has a fantastic natural resource in it, huge ponds and huge hectares of ponds. We will for sure see a lot of changes coming every day, and we have to be open to changes and yes, challenge them, but to have also to be open to understand them and what kind of impact they can have. And the changes can come from anywhere. I believe a lot of changes will come from the digital world that is handling big data in a totally different way than we have grown up with and learned before. Now, I think what I just mentioned now, be open to think new, whether you are among the best farmer or you are a traditional farmer that have traditional results. Everybody can improve, and we have to be open to do things in new ways. Great opportunity for us in Skretting to say something about our vision here and our impact on the industry, which is one of the suppliers to the industry.